use my largest condenser, and I'm going to angle my condenser pretty much at a 45-degree angle toward my cable surface margin as I go around and push that amalgam into the cable surface margin. Like this. And when I get to my marginal ridge, I want to preserve that height, so I'm going to flatten out my angle of my condenser, and I'm going to condense on the corners of my marginal ridge. But if I angle my condenser the way I have, can you see that I've already made a central groove, a rudimentary central groove, and I've already got some of my depth that I don't have to carve later?
Do you do the light, moderate, and heavy in the 45-degree angle around?
I just do heavy. That's a good question.
Just
Thank you.
heavy.
I just do heavy. I just go for it at this point. Okay. So, next I need to ball burnish and clear. So you can ball burnish one of two ways. So I have my ball for my ball burnisher, and you want to ball burnish all the way around the edges of the cable surface margin. That's what I was trying to say. But I also, for our students, I have an egg shape on the other side that I really like. What that looks like here. Looks like this, okay? That's better for you guys to see than holding it up in front of the projector there. And I like this because I can put that point in the central groove and carve around, and I stop just inside my marginal ridge so I don't flatten it, right? And I can come here and push back, like so. And now I have even more anatomy started. Rudimentary anatomy, but still a little bit of anatomy. It's 2D here, 3D here, looks a little better here. I'm just going to be honest with you. All right. So now I'm going to clear next to my band. This is really, really key because this is going to set the height of your marginal ridge, and it's going to clear your occlusal embrasure space. So we're going to clear all of this out, but we're not just clearing amalgam out. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose is, again, to set the height of your marginal ridge and to clear your occlusal embrasure space, so you have occlusal embrasure space started. So I'm going to take my Explorer along my band here. My band sunk down a little bit. The toe is against my band, and I'm going to start from two structure and move into my amalgam to about the center. This. And I'm going to do the same thing over on the lingual side.
You're using the composite instrument for that?
This is an Explorer. It's a 2R2L Explorer. So, all right. So, but can you see now how the amalgam is no longer all the way at the top of the band? I've cleared my occlusal embrasure space out. Okay, I still have a contact. You can see it farther down, but I've cleared that occlusal embrasure space out. So, I'm going to take my band off. I take out the distal portion first. If you're worried about your marginal ridge breaking, of course that's always a possibility, right? Mm-hmm. Happened to me on my board, so it is a scary thing. So all of a sudden I'm missing an IPC. Oh, there it is. Okay. But you can take, if you're worried about breaking that, you can take your largest condenser, gently hold the top of your marginal ridge, and ease the band out. Like so. Okay? Excellent. Oh, looks like I might have an open contact. Well, that's thanks. Okay. Happens to the best of us. We'll see. We'll see. If this were the board and I thought I had an open contact, I would just dig it out and redo it.
The whole thing?
The whole thing. Why mess with it? We're just.
When your marginal ridge broke at the beginning?
My marginal ridge broke 30 minutes into the exam.
Okay, so what did you do?
I dug the whole thing out. I did. with my dyscalculia. I just dug it out.
And did you still pass the first time?
I did.
So did you burnish this band?
I didn't, and that's why.
Okay,
I forgot.
Yeah, okay.
I forgot to. In a hurry, wanted to get through this part, so
So that's probably why it's a little.
I would imagine so. I usually, I'm not trying to brag or say I'm great, so I usually don't have an open contact.
Yeah.
You usually are in your PJs.
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact. I have a 13-month-old daughter, so yes, and she's been sick for a while, so yes, I am definitely in my pajamas at this point. So, alrighty. So I'm going to clear. We're just going to pretend that open contact doesn't exist. I am going to act as if it's not even there. Alright, so I'm clearing my lingual abrasure space right here. I want to make this nice and round toward the tooth. And the lingual side of the maxillary teeth has a much steeper lingual side here than the mandibular teeth. The mandibular teeth are much more square. But because this is more of a heart-shaped tooth, it is a little bit more curved on that lingual side. Okay? Alright. I'm going to clear this buccal embrasure space really gently with my IPC. There we go. There we go. And there we are. So if I had a contact, it would be somewhat buccal, right? Everybody can see that, I hope. And my marginal ridge, at least it's the right height. That's a good thing. All right. So I'm going to carve my buccal and lingual grooves next. Oh, I'm going to have to turn my type on. Sorry, guys. Sorry to make you dizzy. All right, so I'm going to make my buccal and lingual grooves first. So here's my buccal groove. And we want to establish our depth now. The amalgam isn't going to get any softer. So I might as well get our depth now. Don't be shy.
Is that the T3?
This is the T3. Yes, you got it. All right. So, and then my lingual groove, I go almost all the way, I go a little past center, not quite to the cable surface margin on the other side. Okay. I'm going to shake some of this amalgam off so you can kind of see them a little better. There we go. Here's my grooves, right? Okay. Stop signs. Here's what I wanted to show you. So there's a little indentation, better seen on the buccal than on the lingual in this typodont, right about here. This is where the fossa ends and the marginal ridge begins. This is where I put my stop sign on the buccal side. And my marginal ridge is about 2 millimeters wide, which is the way it should be. Okay? So here's my stop sign here. The lingual side on this typodont, since the lingual side curves a little bit more, it's more at the stop sign is more at an angle. It's not as defined, but you can still kind of see it even on this projection, I hope. Right there, that little indentation, that's where my stop sign goes. And it meets the buccal stop sign like this. Okay? There we go. Now that groove is going to stop me from going over my marginal ridge and accidentally breaking it when I'm carving, which is why I call it a stop sign. It's just a stop. Okay. So I try to be a little systematic about this, so I'm going to start in one area and I'm just going to go all the way around the occlusal table clearing triangular ridges. I have found that many people, not everyone, but many people, when they clear triangular ridges and they go from groove to groove, they just flatten it all out.
True.
It ends up really, really flat. So I say don't do that. Okay? This is the way I say to do it. We're going to start at the height of the triangular ridge, and we're going to carve short, quick strokes. In this case, right into our stop sign. Whatever groove or fossa is closest. And here, we're going to do these short, quick strokes, like so. Now I have some height here, and it's not coming up on that 2D. I can tell on my computer monitor it's not coming up as well on the 2D flat screen as it is 3D here. The other thing I want to tell you, I didn't say it in composite, but it goes for composite as well, is the angle of your instrument is going to be how the angle of your triangular ridge or groove is going to be. So my triangular ridge is supposed to be at this angle, so my instrument needs to be at this angle when I am clearing. If I put my instrument like this and I'm clearing like this, my triangular ridge is going to be like this. So you need the long axis of your instrument, of the working end of your instrument, to be parallel with your anatomy. I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right, so moving on. So I'm going to now move from here to the top of my triangular ridge here, changing my angle and clearing. Starting at the top and working my way, in this case, into the groove or the fossa. Like so. And a funny little thing there. My mouth is not turning out so great today. Sorry, folks. All right. Okay. And then on my little triangular ridge here is at this angle and this angle. It's very, very small. There it is. All right, so now we're at this large mesiolingual cusp. And I am going to go ahead and carve the little supplemental groove that bisects those two triangular ridges. I'm going to carve that first so that I can see where I'm going. Now I can start at the top of my triangular ridge here, and I can go into that supplemental groove, and I can go into my distal lingual groove. So. And same thing over here. So top of the triangular ridge, and into the groove or fossa. All right. Now, not my best work. I'm going to just quite frankly admit that. I've done a whole lot of it. There we go. My marginal ridge, my marginal ridge is a little bulky on the inside, so I'm going to go ahead and carve that down. It's also a little high. So I'm going to start at the top of the triangular ridge, and I'm going to treat it just like any other triangular ridge that I carved on that occlusion.